discussed that there are 3-tier architecture of SAP and there are 3 layers. What are those 3 layers? Do you remember that? What is the first layer?
Presentation.
Presentation, right? Presentation layer.
Application.
Number 2, application layer. And number 3,
Database.
database. Exactly. So these are the 3 layers in the SAP system. Okay, now we will compare these 3 layers in SAP ECC versus SAP S4HANA. So presentation layer. What is the presentation layer? If I'm using this SAP ECC system, what is my presentation layer currently?
My GUI.
Okay, GUI is
Easy
fine.
access
Definitely it
screen.
is a GUI, but
SAP Easy Access.
no, which is my physical
Laptop,
from where I'm
computer.
No, you mean to say gadgets.
definitely, but which is a system from where I'm going to connecting? I'm currently connecting from my laptop, right?
Yeah.
Laptop.
Okay, maybe let's take your way. Let's take your way. You are saying SAP GUI is my presentation.
But that GUI I can connect from laptop or my mobile or from my tablet.
Exactly. So, whenever you are answering, you are mute. Once you are done, just mute yourself. There is some background noise. Okay. So, the presentation layer, as you rightly said, is SAP GUI. Okay, so I'm coming to SAP GUI. What is SAP GUI? SAP logon pad in short. So GUI is what we are able to see here. So maybe if you want to change it to SAP logon pad, is my SAP presentation layer. What about SAP S4HANA? Even SAP S4HANA I'm able to access from GUI. So this is applicable in S4HANA also. Am I right?
Additionally, as you
Even in SAP
specified
S4HANA,
yesterday, Fiori also.
Yeah, we will come to that. But first, whatever we are seeing till now, we understood that using this SAP logon pad, I can connect to SAP ECC also, and I can connect to SAP S4HANA also. Right? Now, one important change in SAP S4HANA is in SAP S4HANA, in addition to this GUI is obviously available. We already seen that we can connect through SAP logon pad to SAP S4HANA also. But in addition to that, it is also possible to connect to SAP S4HANA system from the okay, your web browser can be anything, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, right, Firefox. So from there also you can connect to your SAP S4HANA system. So I'm just trying to connect to SAP S4HANA system. See, it is asking the same thing. It is asking you user, it is asking you password, it is also asking you language, but it is not asking you client. Okay, I'll come to that point. I'll tell you why it is not asking you for client. As of now, I'll just enter my user ID, same user ID, what I used in GUI, same user ID password, I'll be able to use in this screen. So this is a new user interface. What I'm doing here, this is not possible in ECC. In ECC, I cannot go to web browser and try to connect to the SAP system. In ECC, I cannot go to any web browser and try to connect to the SAP system. So this is a new user interface. This is called as SAP Fiori. Okay, this is called as SAP Fiori. Here also I can be able to create many different, I can perform many different transactions. So if I'm an consultant, I'll be able to do create a purchase order, create a purchase requisition. I'll be able to see various different reports. So whatever I'm in GUI, I'm also able to do it from Fiori. But this Fiori is something which is only available in SAP S4HANA. Okay, there are some exceptions. I'll talk about those exceptions later on. Just remember, this SAP Fiori is a new user interface which was delivered in addition to the traditional GUI. This is called as traditional GUI. The old GUI, we will call it as a traditional GUI. So in ECC, the only option to connect, the only presentation layer can be SAP Logon Pad, which is also called as GUI. But when it comes to SAP S4HANA, not only we have SAP Logon Pad, but also we have SAP Fiori. I can connect my SAP system not only using the traditional GUI, but I can also connect to SAP S4HANA using SAP Fiori. Now, what is the benefit? So maybe I'll write it here. What are the benefits because of this change? The benefit is if you are using SAP Logon Pad, this SAP Logon Pad can only be installed. This SAP Logon Pad can only be installed on your PC or laptop. So if you are working on SAP ECC system, you have to be in front of your computer or laptop. What if you want to do the transactions? What if you want to see the reports from your mobile device? Nowadays, everything is common. We are even able to we are able to book the railway ticket, movie ticket, everything. Even a small grocery store is allowing us to book the order using the mobile device. SAP is a very big application. Why I unnecessarily sit in front of computer to do the transactions? Why not I can do my transaction from my mobile device? That was a problem with SAP ECC. SAP ECC, one of the big challenge was if you want to do any transaction, you have to sit in front of computer, and that too, this screens what I'm showing you here. So for example, if I want to create a purchase order, I'll just give you one example. If you want to create a purchase order in SAP ECC system, we used to remember the transaction codes. For example, ME21N. This is a transaction code which will allow you to create a purchase order. If you see the screen, okay, this is create purchase order screen. If you see it, in each section, there are hundreds of fields. So if I'm giving the training to you, one screen is having 100 fields, you can assume what would be the difficulty. Let's assume you are learning SAP now, and if I want to give the training, I need to explain you field by field. It is very difficult for you. There are thousands of transaction codes, and in each and every transaction code, there are hundreds of fields. So it is very difficult for you to learn SAP. Think about the end user point of view. For end user, if you want to make him ready to do the transactions, you need to train him in all these fields. So it is very difficult. Okay, that is another drawback of SAP ECC, that the screens are very complicated. They are not user friendly. Okay, so number one, the problem that we discussed is in ECC, since there is no Fiori, we need to use either PC or laptop to perform all our transactions. Okay, but when it comes to S4HANA, using Fiori, we can post our transactions from mobile and tabs. as well. So this is one benefit of SAP S4HANA compared to SAP ECC system. Number one is the benefit at the presentation layer is that in addition to SAP GUI, we are able to use SAP Fiori screens to carry out our transactions. What is the benefit? The benefit is we will not require a laptop or a computer to do the transaction. We can do our transactions from mobiles and tabs also. Also, in addition to that, screens are also very user friendly. Okay, so when I'll show you the Fiori thing in detail, when I'll show you the Fiori screens in detail, you will identify that the look and feel is very simple compared to how it was looking in SAP ECC. The Fiori screens look and feel is better compared to the look and feel of this old GUI. So from the presentation point of view, one benefit that we identified. Let's talk about the application. What do you mean by the application? Which application are we using when we are using SAP ECC? When we are using SAP ECC, the application is SAP ECC EHP 0 to EHP 8. These are the different versions available from the application point of view. Just now we discussed, if I want to check what is my version, I will go to SAP_APPL in ECC system and I'll be able to see which version we are using. When it comes to SAP S4HANA, it is SAP S4HANA, and the versions which are available here are, I'm just writing YYMM. So starting from 1511 to as of today 1909, these are the different applications which are available from SAP as of today. Clear? Okay, so what are the benefits of SAP S4HANA? Just now we discussed functional benefits. SAP S4HANA provides, from the application point of view, it provides new functional benefits. Okay, examples I already gave you. So from FICO, there is a group reporting. This is just example. There are more than 10-15 items in each. Okay, this is just example. From SD, we have AATP, Advanced ATP. From MM or PP, we have MRP Live. Right? So these are the examples from the functional benefits. SAP S4HANA provides you better application which provides you more functional benefits compared to ECC. And the last one, coming to the database. What is the purpose of the database? To store the data. Whenever you do any transactions in the application using the presentation system, so you are using a PC, you connect it to GUI, you connect it to this application, and you have entered the purchase order. As soon as you enter the purchase order, the data gets stored in the database. So database is very important, right? If your database is slow, then your entire system becomes slow. The problem with SAP ECC till 2011, SAP was using third-party databases. Till 2011, SAP don't had their own database. They were completely dependent on third parties for their databases. Just give me a minute. Okay, so till 2011, SAP was totally dependent on third-party databases. What do you mean by third-party databases? So SAP was only application company. SAP was only providing application. For database, they were dependent on Oracle. You must have heard these databases whenever during